So, all right. Here's another one. Makes everybody, not everybody, only some people uncomfortable. And you're seeing this, that every so often is just another example of it. It's a point that I've been making for years on end. And let me preface it by saying this. Remember when we had the conversation over at Blaze TV? It was myself, Yaku Booyens, as well as Cyril Gonzalez. And we talked about how we talked with Benjamin Dichter, who was one of the original organizers for this Freedom Convoy out there in Canada. And there was a part at the end which I was like, he was saying that because he was asked, I think it was by Sarah, regarding this potential conflict with law enforcement. Okay. And he made it seem like, well, they didn't want to get at anything with law enforcement because they had family that were law enforcement. And I believe what he said specifically was that he didn't want to put them in an uncomfortable situation. And I was like, yeah, what is uncomfortable about that for them? If they are the people that you say they are, they should be on your side. Yet here we go. Yet another example of this. And it's the same thing, I guess, happens where you see the general conservative party out there, or the general conservative out there has a similar abusive relationship with law enforcement like some of the folks that are out here. Now, out here in America, a lot of people that got peeled on the cops because of the summer of love in 2020. That was a silver lining for us, that people started to see that for what it is, that they aren't really in it for you. It's more of who they answer to. I know we have this idea of what we think the law enforcement officers are. Hey, they serve and protect. They're public servants in that matter. And then anytime they're in legitimate error because they're enforcing rules that are, you know, obviously acts of aggression upon you, you give them out and you say, well, they're just doing their job or they're answering to so-and-so. Two things cannot be true in that regards. If they're there to serve and protect you, or in America's case, they say my Constitution. But if they're there to do that, then why on earth are they answering to these people who then use acts of aggression upon you? Again, this is one of those uncomfortable conversations that some of y'all don't want to have. But they've already started arresting people, the Freedom Convoy over there. There's been 100 checkpoints established. Key leaders of the Freedom Convoy, as we're reading from Blaze, were arrested on Thursday by police in Ottawa. Tamara Litch and Chris Barber, prominent organizers of the Canadian protests, were seen being taken into custody. According to Ottawa police, Barber was charged with counseling to commit offense of mischief, counseling to commit offense to disobey a court order, and counseling to commit the offense of obstruct police. Leach, I don't know how to say her name, has been charged with counseling to commit the offense of mischief. They just make shit up. Barber was one of the leaders of the Freedom Convoy, and truck drivers from something I'm not about to try to pronounce was seen on video arrested in Ottawa. So there's video. You've probably seen some of this. They have arrested these people and her. They're arresting more and more of these folks that are a part of this. And when you consider what the Ottawa police and they've been coming out saying, even on their Twitter, that they're getting more and more basically aggressive in this regards, no matter what this demonstration matter is, because again, they don't answer to you. And this is why the context always matters with this type of stuff, because at the end of the day, they are the aggressors. They are the aggressors. I cannot emphasize that enough. They are the aggressors. So the Freedom Convoy exists, and as we had talked to Benjamin, is because of this insane, mandates regarding vaccines, be it passports or whatever, because they are coming down by way of the state and they are forcing people to inject things into their bodies in order to live a normal life. They are the aggressors. It is insane how Trudeau and others that support this dickhead somehow now say that because you've been disruptive, you're now the enemy, or you're now somehow the aggressor even though you're the one responding to the acts of the aggression, which is on them. So it is the equivalent to them punching you continuously. And you decide to put your hands up to block. And then they say somehow you blocking their punches that they're throwing at you is an act of aggression upon them. These are psychopaths that you're dealing with. Very bad people. But maybe Canada goes through the same thing where these piece of crap cops who y'all worship, essentially, you see whose side that they're on ultimately. It ain't yours. And then the ones that people, oh, well, there's people that are in the police force that are saying nothing and agree. Well, it's funny how that they don't say anything. They have to do it in secrecy. But they're so supportive of you and your cause. Look, guys, and this can apply to American conservatives as well. The police are the teeth of the state. The law enforcement is the teeth of the state. Some people would ask a stupid question. Would you rather them just enforce the laws that they want? Well, they already do that. They already do that anyway, by the way. But yes, I would prefer that. But it's not Trudeau's big black face head that is going to be the one enforcing these laws. Or if he enacts some emergency act and he's going to, he's saying that we got to start rounding y'all up. It's not going to be Trudeau that's going to be on the streets pulling people out of the trucks or whatever it is that they're doing. It will be the law enforcement. It will be the military folks. The same two people that you claim are on your side. But when they're in error, they're just doing their job. We didn't allow that defense for guys with funny mustaches or worked for the guys with funny mustaches. It is just so hilarious how we allowed that defense here. Or let's say just in North America, because this is also a problem in America. If they were the guys that you thought they were, this wouldn't even be a problem. Those words that Trudeau's just screaming are just those. It's just words. Because at the end of the day, he needs them to enforce his rules or in any given province, whatever rule it is that they have. The ones that are blatant acts of aggression upon you, the ones that you're fighting against. If they were so on your side, if anything, they'd be walking in Parliament or wherever and arresting the motherfuckers that allowed this shit to take place in the first place, if they were actually on your side. But it doesn't seem to happen that way, huh? Just saying. It's something to take into consideration.
You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.